Question 1400. In one account of the biblical flood, it is said to have lasted 150 intervals. What is your favourite story that some believe is true, but is almost certainly false?
Ooh.
Wait a minute.
So,
What?
I was told quite a few falsehoods. I was told, Godless Granny's here. I have something really
Sorcerer Roswell.
Are these just Bible stories you're talking about, or just
Any
all
story.
stories?
Any story.
That some people believe are true, is the point.
I was told that if you lick a particular body part of a person, they're yours forever, and it's so false. So false. So false.
Oh, you got to tell more than that, man.
I actually had to clean that up. I cleaned that up.
I'm glad you.
False.
Well, but there you go. Fair play for you, those to applying the Fair play to you, though, for using the scientific method to establish either it's true or false.
Yeah, but did you have a control group? Did you as well?
Actually, yeah. We all call each other once a year just to make sure we're okay.
The peer review group. I'll just say the peer review group weren't that happy.
Peer review. Just imagine having to write that report.
No. Julie says the Lord Ganesh broke off his tusk to invent the first pen and writing.
I've been told all kinds of stuff.
Ox just said creation.
Oh, I was told if you got with somebody from the same sex, hell itself would swallow you whole. And I figured that was false in 5 minutes when I lived in Hollywood. Probably
Wait a minute, it took you 5 minutes?
4.5.
He had to give a little bit of time for the ground to open up and see what would happen.
It could be the explanation for the San Andreas fault, though.
Hey, there you go.
I heard that one too, but then I it couldn't possibly be real because, one of the popular people on TV right at that time was Liberace. So it's just no way.
If that was true, every major city would just be swallowed whole and just taken into the ground.
Spooky said Dave's yoga ball is actually a giant hemorrhoid.
Oh,
ew.
Matt Pig says, ask Port Granny about the cycling shorts. To which Port Granny says, piss off Matt Pig.
I will never know.
No, I know. We'll have to hit one of them on. Harmonica Man says, man named Jonah gets found all slimy on the shore. Victim tells authority he was swallowed by a fish.
1 second, sorry.
Cadence says, when someone says it's over 6 inches long. I don't know what she's talking about. Jenny? What's she talking about?
This is 6 inches. Get it now?
I got it at the start.
Yeah, there's a conversion problem there, I think.
Keela says, the Lilith story. I wish that Lilith came before Eve and basically told Adam to fuck off. I thought Lilith did come before Eve.
Yeah.
Ox says, no, don't say that. Jonah claims to have run to the other end. What?
Sorry, Dave.
Jeff!
I suppose the myth of the 300 at the Battle of Thermopylae.
To be fair, it did say there was more than 300 there.
There was, there's the myth a lot of people have is that there was just 300 warriors that held off the entire army. There were 300 Spartans, but there was several thousand other allies there, so it wasn't as. But the myth is it is just the 300 that. So I suppose that's one.
It was a great movie with a bunch of people who worked out. The movie was awesome.
It was
every single person in the movie really, really, really worked out.
That story,
it was CGI.
That story is just Frank Miller's jacking off of what he thought Spartans life was like.
It was just. It was just visual eye candy. That's all it was.
It was soccer mom porn, and as a soccer mom, I approve. That's what it was. That's what it was.
It was designed to help you press your own buttons. That's what
as Julie says, that movie was beautiful. I loved it.
I am not Spartacus.
Oh, come on. He said, "This is Sparta." I was like, ooh, good movie. Good movie.
Granny.
When I say favorite, this isn't my favorite because it's the most entertaining, but it's my favorite story to tell of just how bad sermons can get. And this is a sermon that I heard about 30 years ago. Pastor was preaching on the passage of 1 Timothy 2:15, which says that women are saved through childbirth, which obviously the Christian church can't say that. Oops, Granny fell down.
Drunk taxi.
Anyway, let's see. We're gonna need something to boost it up a little bit. Anyway, the church can't say that women get saved differently than men. They have to be saved through Christ as well. So he had to come up with some other type of explanation of why this verse is in the Bible. And he came up with 4 different explanations. But the one he went with is women are saved from worthlessness. That if you do not bear children, you as a woman are worthless.
Wow. Wow.
You know what you've just shown me, Granny? You've just shown me where TERFs get all their ideas from.
Yeah.
They do seem to come down to this idea of... no, I'm not going to get on it. Jenny!
I'm still getting over this worthless thing. The myth that just pissed me off to no end when I was a kid. It's going to seem weird to people. They used to tell you one of the mythologies about George Washington, the father of our country, who chopped down the cherry trees and was so honest and all that bullshit. That for some reason, and I forget the details as to why he did it, but he threw a coin across the Potomac River. And if you've ever seen how wide the Potomac River is,
did he tell that story himself?
I don't know where it came from, but it was. I know I read it.
See, my favorite one about Washington that I still hear a lot of Americans say is they believe the fact that he never told a lie. I'm like, you should look at his military campaigns. He was a big proponent of disinformation, which by definition is lying. So that's
That's no good. Jen.
I already said alien spaceship crash Roswell.
You said that? See, I completely blanked that, or someone wiped my mind of it.
See, that one I think is real.
You think that one's real?
You think is real?
Mm-hmm. Don't worry, Trump's going to save us all. He's going to declassify all the information about Roswell in his birthday.
Some people saw it, and then suddenly the whole story changed. And
speaking of which, where's Trump's healthcare plan?
He's going to reveal it in 4 more days.
Gonna introduce it tomorrow.
Did he put it on Twitter? We just couldn't see it. Or... Just a question.
I still want to see his tax returns.
Yes, we might get to.
Yeah, I think we will.
Crafty says, I do like the lie of the apple falling on Newton's head gave him the idea for gravity. I wish it had been that simple. They sell bits of that tree.
Oh, wow.
Oh, they sell bits of the tree in
Bits
Charlotte.
of no, the tree's still there, isn't it?
Yeah, they said they were selling bits of it.
To be fair,
branches.
they invented in Israel. They invented where they think Bethlehem was. So
Yeah.
You can make up all kinds of stuff. You can...
I keep coming across Christians that are absolutely convinced they know where Jesus' tomb was.
Because they've been there, right? I went on that same tour when I was 9 years old with my church.
I can say, was that Universal Studios?
No, we saw John Paul, then we went to Israel. And they took us to all these fancy places that don't exist. But being from the desert, the only thing I noticed is that they just had the same weather in Southern California. It was just hot.
They take you to where they think Bethlehem was.
Oh, it's for that whole thing is made up for American tourists who have money and their churches pay lots of money to go there.
And they apparently believe it.
I always have this question about archaeology, particularly in the Mideast and some other places around the Mediterranean and stuff. It's like if they dig down, they find more civilizations. How okay, so they dig down 50 feet and they find another city.
Yeah.
Well, why did they bury the first one? Why did they bury it? What was so bad?
This is okay. You've got this thing. It's the thing that really gets me at the moment. The fact that they find something and it's proof. It's automatically proof of whatever they're trying to prove. I mean, it's confirmation bias, but it's
absolutely
it's the wheels. They found cartwheels in the Red Sea.
So
Right.
what?
Yeah, so
Just somewhere. No, it's impossible that someone could have thrown them in. It's impossible.
I get what you're this it's split in.
Yeah,
Adding
it is
thing.
proof
Okay.
of some cartwheel. A random cartwheels being in the Red Sea means that story has to be true. And I'm like,
So, see, Christians don't understand Occam's razor. That's the problem.
but they're not willing to entertain it. Sorry, go on.
I was trying to get some help with math the other day that disproves the whole thing because, the Bible claims that there were 800,000 men.
Yes.
And
yes.
if you add the women and children, you've got like 2.4 million Hebrew slaves.
Yeah.
And if you make them just half the population of Egypt, that means the population of Egypt at that time had to be close to 5 million.
It was
And
nowhere near that.
right. Well, but put on top of that this is only 857 years since the flood.
Mhm.
And if there's 5 million people in Egypt alone, if that's, granted that's a large city, if that's only 1/100th of the population of the planet, and I said, okay, now how do you figure out what the population growth would have to be to reach that many people? I had no idea how to calculate. So I put it up on Twitter and someone helped me with it and figured that you would need a 2.4% population growth to reach that number, even with those conservative numbers.
Yeah. And it's even better when you take into account how big the desert is that they had to cross with that many people.
Yeah, I like the person that figured out that if they were lined up single file, the first person would reach Jericho before the last one left Egypt.
So you couldn't have got lost without a giant game of Snake, unless God plays Snake.
Hey, you don't know what was in the space cakes.
Right.
what are space cakes?
Manna from heaven.
Oh, yeah, they mean the mushrooms.
Oh, mushrooms. I get that.
Magic mushrooms. Magic mushrooms that make you think that volcanoes are gods.
Yes. Right, Lucy
Oh.
Luxor is out of hospital and home. We've got a message.
Oh, brilliant!
That burning bush thing was a lie too. I figured when I was a kid. First of all, why would a bush talk? And secondly, if it was burning, wouldn't it be screaming, not talking?
Besides, if you got a burning bush, you should go see a doctor.
Immediately.
Maybe that's what was meant by it.
Burning bushes when they went too far. Was it Brazilian?
Oh,
Moses was talking to the burning bush. What he didn't realize is that the woman whose it was a ventriloquist.
I can't say that.
I've seen that show in Tijuana. That's real. I've seen that show in Tijuana. That's a thing. That's a thing.
David Melbourne said, I had a burning bush once, got a shot to clear it right up.
I think we've broken Jenny. Jenny's broken.
She's going to tell us what the ventriloquist said.
Moving on.
Jenny, you do know it's not a ventriloquist act if you put your hands over your mouth and say it like
No,
that.
it's cheating.
No, I really can't say that one.
What one can't you say?
Something about lips moving, I guess.
Oh, you really can't.
You're a very good ventriloquist. I can see your lips moving.
Oh.
Did you know? Just as a slight diversion before we move on. On the radio, there used to be a ventriloquist. This must have been 30 or 40 years ago.
Yeah, I remember. Oh, what was his name?
I can't remember. I think it might have been the one that did Bottle of Beer.
Prove that.
Right, and he was fantastic. Everyone loved him, and he tried to make the move to TV, and the problem was he was a really, really shit ventriloquist. You can see his lips moving. He failed completely on TV.
Oh.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. It's going to bug me now. What his name is?
I think
I could.
Go on.
See, I was always told I could sort of do well there because I've been told I've got the perfect face for radio. So
Somebody out in the chat do a quick search for radio ventriloquist.
Yeah, his puppet had a monocle.
Yeah,
Edgar-
he's the one
Edgar
that did
Bergen?
Bottle of
Peter
Beer.
Brow.
Edgar Bergen.
I got Peter Brow.
Peter Brow's the first hit you get on if you do that.
Edgar Bergen was actually kind of good.
Yeah, he was.
That's him.
There's a
Yeah.
puppet called Archie.
Yes.
Yeah, Archie,
That's
that's
one,
it.
Thank you, Sean.
Right. So before we move on, Jen, what did your ventriloquist say?
No, but what Moses said was, I can see your lips moving.
Well, you got. The
I'm
thing is,
gonna
Dave,
hammer on a hi-hat.
you've already got the great. You've probably got the world's greatest ventriloquist that comes on your channel every so often, anyway.
Who's that?
So, Scientist Mel. She always got her puppet talking like that, and it sounds remarkably like Stool.
If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.